Now, the words define and refine are referred to often in the aesthetic world, right? We're looking to define a certain feature more clearly, or maybe refine our profile so we look younger. Well, those terms are also part of a well-known product expanding its reach now. The beauty coach, Dr. Ann-Therese Stubbs, is here to explain. Hi, Dr. Ann.
Hi, good to see you.
Good to see you too. You know, this is something that we hear, the brand product Restylane is one of those tried and true products. I feel like that name has been around for a little bit.
It has been. It is one of the first hyaluronic acid filler that was approved in the United States, and now they've continued to add upgraded products to it through the years.
Let's talk about those, because refine and define are what we're talking about, right?
Exactly. These are two new products that are basically hitting Columbus, Ohio at the end of this month, January, and we'll be the first to have them in the office. I've gotten to go kind of play with these at the advisory board meeting and inject some people in Canada before it was approved here, and they're just remarkable products because my big take home was what you see is what you get. There's not a lot of swelling with it. A lot of the other hyaluronic acid fillers, you have to wait for that swelling to go down. You might have to hide for a day or not go back to work or plan it on a Friday. These have less of what we call the hydrophilic component, meaning they don't hold on to water and they don't have as much swelling, which is kind of nice.
All right, so let's talk about some before and afters and see the results for ourselves, because that's the best part, right?
It is. And Restylane, like you said, has long been a very tried and true product, and it's something that you can put just about anywhere on the face. And this lady's had volume added to her temporal area and in her cheeks, kind of the mid-cheek where it looks kind of flat right under her eyes. And then also in the folds, the nasolabial folds right from the nose down to the mouth, that fold that is there when we smile, the kind of the parentheses, and then a little bit in the chin too. So you can add it a lot of different places for just an overall refreshed look.
And I think she looks extremely natural.
She does, and that's the beauty of hyaluronic acid fillers. They are identical to the hyaluronic acid that's already in our skin. So really, they don't tend to lump. They don't tend to cause any allergic reactions at all. They do only last about 18 months to 2 years, so they're not a long-term filler. But I think a lot of people don't mind that, in that it's a very natural look. It kind of fades with time, and then they can decide whether they want another treatment or not.
And define and refine are the names. What's the difference between those? What kind of issues are we looking at?
Well, define is going to be kind of the more robust filler. It is going to give a lot of lift. It's going to be for cheekbones. It's going to be for deeper areas, maybe some of the folds right on the jowl area there, to kind of right on the bone, to be able to lift up the skin and kind of reinflate the face when we lose our volume. And then the refine is going to be just a smaller molecule that we can use for fine lines, can use around the lips, can use around the eyes, those little tear trough areas, or the areas where it's very, very thin skin and we want a smaller particle.
And it looks like, can you use these together, like looking at this woman?
Definitely, and that's what's going to be the beauty of this. They're adding basically 2 more fillers to their already pretty robust line of 3 other fillers. We have Lift, we have Silk, and we have the basic Restylane. So these 2 are going to fit in kind of one towards the thicker end and one towards the fine line end, and maybe for a little less swelling, when people need to go out the very next day and not have to explain the swelling.
Right, and this woman, our last before and after, I mean, it kind of just looks like, mother-daughter here. I mean, it almost just takes a few years off.
It's definitely just a softening of all the folds and everything that we lose the volume and everything kind of starts to come downward. I always like to say that a triangular shape to the face is a much more youthful face. And as we age, you can see in the first photo very, very little bit that the lower part of the face is a little more boxy, and then in the second photo, it's a little more triangular. So you're really looking to bring everything upward with fillers, just to kind of, I say the triangle of youth turns into the trapezoid of terror as we start to come down. But when we can reinflate some of the structures in the upper face, we can create that triangular shape again and give people a very natural look, maybe like they looked 10 years ago.
Okay, Dr. Ann, and this is brand new, so you have a special intro pricing you're going to offer to our viewers, but come in for a consultation. I think that will be really the way that you decide what's right for you.
Exactly, and we are still waiting to find out what the company is going to give us for our introductory pricing, but we know it's going to be probably about 20 to 25% lower than the initial price when it does hit the rest of the market, because we will get it first in Columbus, because I'm on the Galderma advisory board, so we will get it first, and we'll get to offer the viewers a great 20-25% special too. So we always say come in for a consultation, learn what you need, and it might be a stepwise approach too. It might be adding a little volume in one place, maybe then a few months down the pike add a little bit more somewhere else. We like like to do that slowly too and give patients kind of a stepwise approach so that they look very natural.
Okay, so if you want to be the first to get it in Columbus, Ohio, call the number on the screen. Dr. Ann, thank you.
Thanks for having me.